Okay, well, this is a video. I made a tweet, I made a community post a couple days ago where I showcased my weight at my heaviest, how I was roughly 10 years ago in 2014, how I was 400 pounds. At the time, my doctor told me, Mark, and I'm glad that I was in Australia for this because I am Australian. My doctor told me, Mark, you are so fat, you are going to die before you hit 40. If you want to live, you need to lose weight. And after years, literal years of fluctuating, losing a minimum amount of weight due to following crazy diets, pre-organized, pre-designed workouts, I finally ended up losing roughly the equivalent of another human being. Yeah, now if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. At my lowest, I made it down to roughly 205 pounds from 400, which means I lost 195 pounds. Admittedly, and you can see over in the corner of the screen, I didn't really look that great. I looked kind of unhealthy comparatively to now. Going back and looking at my body then, and like even back in 2014 comparatively to like 2020, 2022, when I was only 205 pounds, I feel like how I look now with my body currently how it is a drastic improvement. So when I made this post, there were thousands of comments left across several different platforms, and there were dozens, potentially hundreds of people asking me, Stix, how did you do it? And now I'm not here to try and sell you a product, sell you a routine, sell you anything. I don't think I'm qualified to do that. I'm not a professional. However, what I am here to do is to tell you as one gamer to another how I managed to lose weight, how I managed to bulk up and build muscle, and how I went from being fat, well, I wouldn't say from fat to fit, I'd say from fat to like a lot less fat. Now, I will preface this by stating two different things. My current wife, Mrs. Stix, she actually fell in love with me back in 2016 when I was still like 320 pounds or more, and I looked terrible. Additionally, I would strongly advise against losing weight by starving yourself, by doing excess cardio, because while it does work, I lost the equivalent of roughly 60 pounds over like a 4 to 6 month period, doing nothing but 2 hours heavy lifting, 1 hour of high intensity interval cardio per day, 7 days a week, eating nothing but 2 boiled chicken breasts with no seasoning to avoid excess calories. And I can tell you that like several month period was probably the most miserable of my life. And admittedly, if I didn't have Mrs. Stix, I would have been in a very dark place, because mentally I did not have the mental fortitude, I think, to actually like push through this. But knowing that she was there, it gave me that strength. I don't know. It's hard to say without coming off as being like cringe or cliche. First, let's get into the meals, because I feel like the diet is probably the most important part of your weight loss journey. And no, you don't need to eat tons of vegetables. You don't need to eat tons of fruit. You don't need to forego sodas, forego junk food. No, all you need to do is find out how many calories you need per day to sustain, and then reduce how many calories you're having. You just need to eat in excess less frequently. That means if you go to McDonald's 3 days a week, go 2 days a week. If you eat large bowls of pasta, if you eat a large breakfast, lunch, and dinner, cut one of them out. Eat less. My rough caloric limit per day to maintain my current weight is about 2,500 calories. So all I need to do to lose a pound a week is cut out 500 calories. That means 2 less sodas. That means a little bit less for breakfast or lunch. What I ultimately did was, and again, I don't necessarily recommend anything that I do. I'm just giving you guys a lowdown of what it is I do. Several mornings of the week, I make myself ground turkey, ground chicken, ground beef, an egg. Sometimes I'll have rice with it. Sometimes I'll have an actual steak for breakfast because steaks are only like 400-600 calories. Then I will forego a lunch and then I'll have a small dinner, whether that dinner is a cheeseburger, whether it's a bowl of spaghetti, whether it's a miso salmon or a bowl of tortilla chips or something. As long as that dinner is roughly 1,000 calories or less, then I can safely have a decent sized breakfast, work out during the day, and lose about a pound every second or third day. Now I could eat more and then I'll lose weight less frequently, or I could eat less and lose weight more frequently. I don't need to cut out the sodas I have. I have 1 Coke a day and like 2 cans of Sprite. Yet over the course of the last month, I've dropped almost 12 pounds. I was 364 roughly a month ago, and I'm back down to 352 at present. Hopefully by the end of next month, I'm back down to 340. I was bulking up a lot. I'm in the process of now cutting, so reducing my caloric intake while trying to maintain my protein levels, while trying to lose some of the fat that I put on along the way during the bulking process. Again, you can have whatever you want for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can omit breakfast and lunch entirely and have a large dinner. You can have small breakfast, no lunch, small dinner, big breakfast, no lunch, small dinner, big breakfast, big lunch, no dinner. It's completely up to you. As long as you're not going over your caloric limit, you're remaining under, and you're working out, you'll lose weight. I got my Ninja blender, unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I gotta go with chocolate syrup because I just like the taste of a chocolatey protein shake. Roughly 2 scoops of protein, give or take. A little bit of syrup on top. Well, that's a little bit more than a little bit, but I mean, can you really judge me? We blend for about 10 seconds. I tried having water protein shakes, but comparatively to the almond milk, they just taste like crap. With regards to my workouts, I kind of tailor my own. I have an app called Heavy that I use. It's a premium app. I had to pay for it. And I built my own workout routines. I went online, I researched, I found out which body groups, muscle groups I want to target when working out. I'll work out like chest, I'll work out upper chest, I'll work out shoulders, traps, biceps, triceps. I'll focus on specific groups each day. And then sometimes I'll remove one exercise from a day and put in something like a heavy day of squats or something just to mix it up and just to kind of like agitate a different muscle group so it doesn't become necessarily too routine. I also have heavy days and light days. My exercises typically tend to, on the heavy days, consist of high weight, low rep, and about 4 sets depending on the exercise I'm doing. I tend to, for biceps, triceps, shoulders, traps, everything, target about 4 sets per exercise. So for things like incline bench press, decline bench press, I'll tend to stick to roughly 6 to 8 reps per set and do about 8 sets instead, because I'm trying real hard to like work my chest. I do 3 total exercises per workout, and I do 4 days of working out, targeting 1 different body group each workout, and then I have a 1-day rest. Then I do 3 days working out, then I have a 1-day rest, then I do 2 days working out, and then I have a 2 to 3 day rest depending. And on those 2 to 3 days off, on every rest day, I do at least roughly 12.5 to 20,000 steps. Also, real quick, I forgot to mention this, but I realized that after I finished the recording, I do have a small home gym that I built downstairs that I use every single day. I do not pay for a gym membership, and it is very worth it. And that is it. That is literally it. That is how I got from 400 to 205 pounds. I just increased the amount that I was consuming in terms of calories when I was as thin as I was, to bulk up, to build more muscle. And now that I've hit this point, I lose weight the way I did originally, and that is just by reducing how much I'm eating. It is literally really that simple. I feel like there are so many like fitness gurus out there. There are so many websites that are out there that are like, you have to follow all these different things to lose weight. No, the reality is you just need to have motivation to move and to eat less. You need a little bit of self-control, dedication. You need a goal, and then you need to reach that goal. It is that simple. Unless there is some underlying medical condition that prevents you from losing weight, it is not that difficult. I don't mean to attack anyone by stating that, but it just isn't. As for how much protein I consume per day, something along the lines of like 200 to 250 grams, since I know there are gonna be some people in the comments like, Stix, how much protein are you consuming to actually build your muscle? And honestly, that's more of a guideline. It's not something I need to necessarily meet each day. There are a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of fitness YouTubers who make sure they hit all of their macros, and that just isn't me. I don't want to have to omit eating all the foods that I like. I am fine just eating them less frequently. I don't want to have to focus on all these different nutrients. I'd rather just get them from the foods I like, and whether I hit what I hit or I'm supposed to hit or I don't, it doesn't bother me, because at the end of the day, I'm losing weight, I'm gaining strength, I'm gaining muscle, and I am happy. I don't need to be the most defined, the most muscular human being, but I am getting to a point where I like what I see and I'm happy with what I've achieved. Hopefully that helps some of you guys out. I don't know, let me know your guys' weight and everything in the comment section below, because I'm curious what you were at your worst and what you are now. And for reference, I am 6'1", which is about 184 or 185 centimeters. I know there are people that are asking me because they saw the pictures and they're like, dude, at 240 pounds, like, you must be really tall because you don't look big at all. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just lucky. I have a fairly long upper torso, so it doesn't really look too bad, I guess. I don't know. Also, I know this is gonna be a popular question. Yes, I do have loose skin. I do have plenty of loose skin down on my lower stomach. Thankfully, with the workouts I do, I don't really have any loose skin like around my chest area. And like with regards to my arm, like there isn't really a whole lot of loose skin anywhere thanks to the muscle that's built right around here. But like, I don't know, I feel like there's really nothing I could do about loose skin other than having it removed, which I might do eventually one day, I don't know. But there you go. That's how I got from 400 pounds down to roughly 205. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.